welcome to Pricing College with your hosts, Joanna Wells
and Aidan Campbell.
Okay, today we're going to talk about segmentation, what it is and why it's important. The reason we want to talk about that now is that a lot of companies and pricing departments are now investing in pricing technology and new systems. And a lot of these new systems require segmentation. A lot of advances have been made in segmentation, but we're just going to talk about, what it is and some applications.
Yeah, just this week we actually had an inquiry of a startup business, and the inquiry was, how do we have different types of customers. We have large corporate customers, we have smaller customers, mom and dad stores. How do we segment our offer to those businesses? How do we deliver, different services, and fundamentally, how do we charge them differently to maximize the potential revenue to the business?
A lot of companies are struggling with segmentation at the moment because they're using fundamentally quite outdated segmentation principles and approaches that are largely derived from demographic segmentation. And that's usually things like, postcode or location, geography, country. So they split the country up in really large chunks. And the problem with putting a lot of people in large groups is that you don't get the subtlety in terms of pricing, in terms of understanding their needs and why they buy.
I would even say a very large number of companies in Australia and globally don't segment at all. They fundamentally sell, we go back to the apples. You come in to buy one apple, you come in to buy 10 apples. You sell it at the same price and under the same circumstances, whether this is online or delivery or through a bricks and mortar store. A lot of companies don't segment their offer or their customers.
Well, and that leads to a lot of problems, because then they're not addressing the customers' needs. They're not giving their customers what they actually really want. And they're fundamentally just pricing using cost plus. I think we talked about that before. So they work out their costs, they just add up percentage margin on top, and then just roll it out. No segmentation at all. Other companies are a little bit more sophisticated, and they have been using that geographic segmentation principles. But there are other things that people are doing now, especially with online businesses in fashion. They're looking at price segmentations in terms of their customers' behavior. They track what the customers are buying in real time. They're trying to use more analytics to understand different customer behaviors so they can split people off into different groups, which is quite useful. And then there's another new type of segmentation that's called psychographic segmentation. Aidan, do you know what that means?
I certainly do not.
And that's about, a little bit more about value-based pricing. It's more aligned to that. It's when your customers have a specific value principle in mind. They buy, maybe it's because they like to be healthy. They believe in a cleaner ecology. Things like that are important to them. They're motivated to buy by people and companies that have a similar value system to them. It can come down right to, the food they eat. I'm thinking now like grilled burgers. We've all had a nice grilled burger. Why do people go there? Well, they're trying to segment their customer base using that psychographic segmentation, where people go there for a healthier burger, a green burger. They treated their animals right before slaughtering them. Customers like that. They put a lot into that sort of ecology motif.
I think a great question also is, we've covered there a lot of what segmentation, the factors to look at. A real good question is, why would you segment your customer base? What is the reason for it? And this is the discussion we had this week with an internet startup. Fundamentally, the reason is, if you treat everybody the same, and we'll give you the example of an airline. So say you're flying to whatever, New York. Some people want to go in coach, some people want to go in premium economy, and some people want to go in business class. And if you charge or try to charge everybody the same price for the exact same service, what you'll fundamentally do is undercharge or leave a lot of money on the table to certain customers, overcharge another segment of the customer base, and just through pure luck, you will be hitting the right value spot with certain customers. But what you're really doing is you're underpricing or overpricing and completely misaligned with 80% or so of your actual market.
And in so doing, you miss out a lot of revenue opportunities, a lot of margin opportunities, because there are going to be some customers that buy your products that are willing to pay more. And then there's going to be other price-sensitive customers that are not willing to pay the price that you're charging at all and will go elsewhere. And I suppose this is why segmentation is important, because it's identifying those different customer groups. So you're aware what they need and you know what price they're willing to pay, what they value. And this is how you really determine your pricing power.
And I think the actual, Joanna went through a lot of what you'd look at, but there's no easy answer. It's not one size fits all. It's the segmentation strategy really is completely different, business to business, product to product, service to service. It's when you're looking at a business, you really have to think, what does that business provide? What is its value adds? Who is the customer base? How can we break it down? How can we use, what was that complex word, psychographic analysis? All those sort of things. It's, whether you're trying to sell a car, a luxury car, an airline flight, or even just a fancy hamburger to somebody, you really need to know what that person is buying. Is it a corporate account? Is it a private person? Is it for entertainment purposes? Really dig into it. And when you dig into it deeply, you can really get great indicators as to why they value something. And then that gets the next step. How do you segment that base? The internet version, everyone's used to saying it. If you buy software as a service, SaaS stuff, you've probably seen it 1,000 times. The menu page where you have starter, professional, enterprise, categorized, segmented offers. That's standard, but you probably won't even realize how many times you're being segmented.
And I suppose this comes back down to, my original point when I opened this discussion about people, pricing departments and companies buying pricing technology. A lot of this technology comes with its own approach to segmentation. A lot of companies choose technology before thinking through their segmentation and their offer. And then they buy this software and it's not quite aligned to their business and their go-to-market approach or even their value profile. And often it can be very difficult for them to then unwind the segmentation that's already pre-programmed in that system. So just a note here, be very careful about the technology that you choose and always think about your pricing framework and your segmentation logic first before actually buying technology, because it does come with its pre-programmed segmentation. Okay, so I think that's all we have to say about segmentation today. We'll probably go on talk about it a bit further in other episodes, but thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think we've covered a lot of topics today and we can certainly dig into them all in future episodes. So thanks again.
Yeah, thanks a lot.